Since the birth of computers, they have failed to embrace human senses and abilities. Inputs to those brain boxes has been dominated by punching in numbers or stabbing at a QWERTY keyboard. Humans have hands and fingers. We can mold and shape material. We have the ability to measure minute passages of time. Our hearing can isolate speech or individual instruments in an orchestra. We can sense the emotional nuance of color. We feel meaning from the relationship of images and objects. We experience joy or sadness from the shape of text. We were born as human creators. But none of our evolved human abilities have been embraced by computer technological companies. Your human abilities have been ignored. Tech companies still force designers, painters, filmmakers to input their ideas with QWERTY keyboards or mice. Why? But is this all about to change? The collaboration between humanist designer Jony and AI system designer Sam Altman, I hope, might unchain our inherent human skills and how we interact with devices. We need to build new ways to use computers. Computers need to become an extension of human abilities. They need to democratically share knowledge. They need to enhance our skills, our emotional choices, our serendipitous accidents, not force us to work in fixed ways. I want to live in a world where I can virtually design an object with my hands and then 3D print it and use it in my life. I need to talk to smart advisors, advocates, health providers, create pictures and video from my imagination, ask questions in languages I don't speak. We need to break the capitalist chains of consumer product marketing and enhance the human abilities we are all born with. I'm excited that Ive and Altman might combine their skills to actually make devices that embrace everything that makes us human. It's about time. Listen to their coffee shop conversation that offers fleeting hints of what they might be working on.
The products that we're using to deliver and connect us to unimaginable technology, they're decades old.
Yeah.
And so it's just common sense to at least think, surely there's something beyond these legacy products.
We have like magic intelligence in the cloud. If I wanted to ask ChatGPT something right now about something we had talked about earlier, think about what would happen. I would like reach down, I would get out my laptop, I'd open it up, I'd launch a web browser, I'd start typing, and I'd have to like explain that thing, and I would hit enter, and I would wait, and I would get a response. And that is at the limit of what the current tool of a laptop can do. But I think this technology deserves something much better.
I am absolutely certain that we are literally on the brink of a new generation of technology that can make us our better selves.
I reached out to top German designer Peter Langer to share our creative pain of using computers over the last 30 years. And we imagine a dream product that actually enhances our creativity rather than shackles us to work in set ways. Peter also thinks that we're on the cusp of alien contact. As us humans quickly evolve into an era of shared consciousness, possibly powered by AI, might non-human intelligence recognize that we've evolved? And might they reveal at last their true identity and purpose? This video is sponsored by Novium, an innovative design idea that uses 21st century material science to enhance your life. Meet the Hover Pen Interstellar and future editions. embracing smart magnetic design to hold high-quality pens exactly where you need them. By the synergy of harnessing magnetic forces, Novium have perfected a desktop hover pen system that just works. No fumbling to find the sweet spot of levitation. The placement of the magnets that need no power center the pen every time you return it to the holder. I especially appreciate that the Interstellar pen is held at 23.5 degrees, exactly the same as the Earth's magnetic field. These hover pens are great examples of technology that enhances human abilities. They embrace the best of innovative design and aerospace material science. It's a pen that feels inspiring to use and brings a thrill to see how it magnetically floats and rotates in its desktop holder. A premium quality pen that integrates science with a human interface. Winner of a Time Magazine Design Award, you can even get a Novium hover pen with a fragment of meteorite embedded in the tip. Novium are happy to offer you a 15% discount off their range of gravity-defying pens. Link in the description or scan now the QR code appropriate to your region. Why don't you reward yourself with this fantastic pen? Or it makes a perfect gift for Father's Day with a generous discount. So, are we entering a new era of human evolution? An era where we can embrace collective human knowledge. An era where non-human intelligence that has probably been watching us for millennia chooses this moment in time to disclose their presence. Well done, everybody. We are living right now in interesting times. Good evidence shows that we're not alone in the universe, and we're about to take a giant leap into a brave new world. Hopefully one that embraces our humanity, working with our creative skills and sharing knowledge. Peter Langer and I talk about the nightmare of working with computer keyboards and how we might be just turning a corner into a conscious, connected universe. Might that be the key that the aliens have been waiting for? Might they see this era as a time when humans embrace shared consciousness and they choose to make contact? Hey everybody, guess who we have? Peter Langer. Peter is a designer and a futurist based in Berlin and runs a design company called Studio Langer. I'm very pleased to welcome him on the show on this momentous day where we're talking with Jony Ive and Sam Altman about the future of how technology is going to change. Because I think, and I'm going to ask Peter now, that for the last 25 years, we as creatives in this industry have embraced computers, but it's been an effing nightmare because we have been tied to the QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah, absolutely. This is completely ridiculous. And we had this old computer monitors, that were not flat. You can remember these times.
Right, yeah, right.
Yes. So completely obsolete in seconds when the LCD screens came up. And I think that we will look to these keyboards and mouses in a similar way in the near future. But there's one technology, and this is retina projection. So direct laser retina projection. So you have a little small laser that is directly projecting on your eye, and then you have AR, VR, XR, whatever,
right?
And you have this additional to your image directly projected. And I think this somewhere there will be the future of it all. Then you have a really light goggles on, really light glasses on, and they are projecting the image directly. This technology is around since the late 90s. So they have it.
Totally. Yeah, you just project into the eye. And then, our decision making and our senses, our smell. Humans, as you know, have this incredible rhythm, and we can measure distances and time for musical beats or events down to the nanosecond. We should be embracing us as humans. We have touch. And the other thing I was talking about, this what the ideal interface would be with my wife. And she said, what about the wonderful thing? She's an artist, the serendipitous moment when something happens and you're skilled enough to say, that's good. And you actually embrace maybe a mistake or something that happened by accident, but you know what you want. And suddenly you go, I like that. I like the way it looks. Let's go with that. And that's what the human interface with computers needs to grow up.
Exactly, and the more natural it comes, the better it will be. So, and I think this is we don't have to simulate you painting in 3D or something. So it must be like clay in VR. It must be really natural to work with, right? So, and we have these images of Minority Report in mind. Of course, it's about gestures and pulling things around and so on and so forth. Yeah, right. But in the end, when I like my paper, I like my pencils, right? And when I sit down and have an idea, I want to draw it. But I think maybe the solution is, look here, dear AI, I have sketched something little for myself. Can you make this in 3D? Can you rotate it? Make it blue.
Make it blue, exactly.
So, and then it's there, right?
Right.
And then print it. We have a 3D printer in the
3D
office.
Print it, yeah.
I have a nice dinosaur over there. Let me.
Exactly. Yeah, my whole. I'm surrounded by 3D prints.
Yeah, our little. Yeah. So this is another dream machine that we really. I was dreaming about this for ages. I started my professional career in 1991.
Yeah.
And in school, this would be the perfect tool for us. This would be amazing. You can print it, everything.
I mean, I love my Mac. I think one of the things about Mac that Macs have done over the years is that they haven't said you have to work like this, very much that PCs tended to work. I think if you want to interface with drawing, that's fine. If you want to type, you want to speak, I think it needs to embrace whatever the skills of the person is. I don't want to be restricted. I want it to be a graphical user interface, a human interface.
You are living in the future as I am. So I'm a futurist. I always dreamt about the exact time that I'm now living in. So I waited for this technology for 30 years now. I dreamt about it. I have a Tesla truck, which I designed in 1986 in school. It looked exactly like the Tesla truck, and I did it there. So I was always like 40 years in the future. But now it's since the development is so fast, right?
Yeah.
It accelerates at an enormous pace. It's now difficult to think ahead these 40 years. I don't know how you feel about it, but it's we all the time we talked about technology is getting smaller and smaller and smaller till the time that technology vanishes in thin air. So we call it thin air. Now it's the cloud, right?
Yeah.
So cloud computing, and I think the device that Jony Ive is doing, it goes exactly in this direction. So
I think so. That's what they're implying. The Sam Altman Jony Ive chat is very interesting. I'll run that as part of this chat with Peter, so you can see, if you haven't seen it, viewers, that it's very interesting. They obviously are. It's very much an initial meeting. They're not really giving the game away about what there is a hint from Sam that Jony has made a product which he thinks is amazing, but we wait to see. But I think what Peter here tonight is mentioning is so important. Embrace AI as a creative. Don't lock it out of your world. Use your creativity to make it better. I think, but we need to break away from the constraints of QWERTY keyboards.
Yeah, exactly. But this is the natural way it will go. And of course, AR, VR, XR, are an essential part, and when you connect XR with AI, there is music in it. That will be the future, right?
Do you
and then we
feel?
have
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I'm just typical me interrupting my guest.
no.
My brain kind of scoots ahead.
Fast forward.
A good question. Do you feel, as a creative, as somebody who has spent, your entire career being creative, putting work out there and working out methodologies of working, do you think AI has stolen it from you? I mean, AI obviously builds models on a large language model of you and me, editing. It looks at editing models of maybe films that I've worked on and goes, "Oh, you could copy that." Do you feel ripped off by AI?
No.
No.
No, it's an incredible. No, I understand these people that, of course, they grabbed everything they can get their hands on and sucked it in. Like photographs, whole libraries, and so on and so forth. So, of course, there must be some kind of compensation for these, because when I want to write a book today, I can sit down, have my companion, ChatGPT, write a book with me. I have an idea.
Yeah.
Right, a book, go for it. 200 pages, deliver it tomorrow. Sci-fi, something that it's done, right? So this is, of course, challenging our self-awareness and our position in the world. When we are talking about the future, and maybe I don't know if you want to talk about the UFOs in this
sure,
term.
Yeah. No, I think it's a good segue into it, Peter. I think obviously in UFOs and UAP, it seems that well, first of all, I'd like to say you and I both live in Europe, where everything is different from in the United States.
Exactly.
We accept UAP are real. We have money into research, and but I think the whole UAP phenomenon has been driven by looking at what they are doing and trying to copy them. I mean, I think if we can have hints for propulsion systems or consciousness or time travel or modifying gravity from the observables from UAP, I think that's amazing. I totally embrace that. And maybe maybe AI will help us. So I've been working with Jack Sarfati, and Jack says, as a physicist, that he can now go on to a ChatGPT AI large language model and do physics in a way that it would take him 6 months. It just speeds up the process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, and I'm all the time when I'm connecting to people that are in the ufology, right, in this realm, I always ask them, why now? Why is disclosure happening now? For me, this is the most important question up front. So, do you have an idea about that?
Well, I have a very strong position on that.
Tell me.
I actually dislike the word disclosure immensely. I think that I would like to change the word disclosure into confirmation. I think we need science. I mean, that's very much my kind of background, to look at the phenomenon. I think we got disclosure. It's real. There are things in our airspace. There are what they are is hard to actually say. Are they a visiting non-human intelligence? Are they a natural phenomenon? Are they us from the future? Or what they are? We still don't know, but the disclosure has happened. The disclosure has happened many years ago. I mean, there's a lot of things out there. People see things all the time.
But why is it now speeding up? Why now?
I think that's a great question. Personally, as the person who put themselves out there last year and said that we have confirmation of non-human intelligence. We have confirmation that we're not alone in the universe. A group in Cambridge has definitely found a biosignature on an exoplanet, and breakthrough
into 18B.
Yeah. I mean, they they took so much shit when it first published it. So they went back, they got funded, and they found a stronger signal from the same exoplanet. I mean, it's almost definitely a biosignature. Mr. Buggy, not Mr. Bipedal Alien. And then the other signal, which I really don't understand why they aren't shouting about it more, is that the signal from Breakthrough Listen from BLC-1, it continues to be there. And the Occam's razor for, is it human interference or is it a genuine techno-signature, really points towards it's a technological signature. So maybe we're in some kind of revelation stage right now, Peter. I don't know.
My thesis is we are now, and there's the link to AI and the future developments. We are now stepping in a new era of human development. Sure. And this is not first of all, technology-wise, right? So this is
right.
This is now with AI, quantum computing, maybe fission, with a lot of topics that we genetics is important. Yeah, the consciousness is connected, but it's another. This is the other side of the coin, right?
Okay,
it's integral, but it's the other side of the coin. But on the first hand, we are now getting godlike capabilities, right? So we can manipulate genes, we can create life. We are at this point, CRISPR-Cas, you name it.
Yeah.
The development with quantum computing, especially, and AI combined, will speed up at enormous pace. So, and we are talking about the technology that might be behind everything, like 0-point energy and stuff like that.
Sure.
This is like in reach, and then we are stepping in another development of humankind, right? And this is now maybe 5 to 10 years away. Yeah. And now we are becoming interesting for the others.
Right. The others.
So
right.
The others.
Yeah.
And I think that this is the point in human development that they are now thinking seriously about talking to us,
Contact, yeah.
And the whole thing about disclosure and dear Mr. Northrop Grumman, put your pants down. We want to see the shit. This is another completely different discussion, right?
Sure.
So this is about technology and how to deliver weapons faster. I don't know what they are up to, but this is not bringing us further. But when we have the technology to create life, in all these realms, to solve every physical whatsoever problem,
right.
What is dark matter? What is dark energy? When we come behind all these questions, what is gravity? We don't know what gravity is.
Right.
So, but I think that we know it in 10 years with the help of these tools that we are now building. So, and this is now the step, and we have to really embrace ourselves. Really, this is the most interesting time of humankind.
I completely agree. 2020. Actually, I would say 2025. I think we've just literally turned the corner, and I think that's really a very interesting thesis, Peter. I would say that maybe non-human intelligence, maybe them, as you called them, they are calling the shots. They will make themselves clearer. They will contact us. They will come out from behind the curtain when they are ready, based on what we're doing. I really think UFOs don't show themselves properly. I think they're literally like sniffing a tailpipe of a Volkswagen Golf going down an Autobahn without being able to see the car. I think we see fumes, but we don't see the Golf.
I think that it's kind of a nudging. They are nudging us. Look, there's something more.
Sure.
There is something behind the curtain. Look further. And then we are into consciousness, spirituality, and DMT and experiences like that. Meditation. So, and there is something.
You've got Peter, people like Skywatcher, who are saying that we can use our psychic ability out, which I think is more just everybody has it. We all know that we can all do remote viewing because it's all about tuning into a timeless consciousness, a quantum consciousness, if you want to call it like that.
Exactly.
And I think that UAP and UFOs know that, and when they're contacted and when they feel connected to a human, they manifest themselves temporarily.
But as you said, this development in disclosure started long ago. This started long ago, maybe 20,000 years ago, when the first depiction on petroglyphs are there.
Yeah.
But they were further than we are. They were much deeper into it than we are. We have forgotten a lot of things. But now it's time that they see us evolving, they see us developing.
Yeah.
Maybe we are only the petting zoo. I don't know which hypothesis is the real one. But in the end, why are we here? This is a deep question. My answer to this: we are the knowledge collectors. We are knowledge collectors. We are the whole humanity.
Right.
In the end, it's the budget. Everybody works together on collecting information about knowledge. So this is what brings us further, which propels development in medicine, in technology, and so forth.
That's fantastic, Peter. You're saying that literally your neighbor walking down the street, looking at her gravity on a crack in the pavement is adding to a minute detail to global consciousness. It's adding a tiny piece of information to a field of shared knowledge. I mean, if we can tap into all of that, which we are beginning to scratch the surface with AI, and actually, have access to not just our life and our perception, but a global perception. It's fantastic. It really is a game changer. We are living in very interesting times.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Incredible. And I think that the next phase will be that we have to really look into consciousness. Yeah. I think really when you hear the telepathy tapes, this puts you out of your socks. When this is real, and I think it is, then we are living in a completely different concept of reality than we have ever imagined. This is really game changing. So and then we are talking about this cosmos of ideas. Where's this inspiration coming from?
Right.
It's a big topic. They are dreaming about benzoyl ring. They're dreaming about these ideas, and this is from Einstein to Tesla. They are all talking about the same thing. The ideas came to them.
I completely agree. And I've often said, for somebody who hits bits of metal with a hammer and makes things, we are incredibly clever bunnies at making aeroplanes fly, but they are just electromagnetic forces. We live in this kind of soup of unreality. And I think other consciousnesses in the universe will be much more in tune with what actually a larger state of reality is. And I think through early steps in AI and shared consciousness, we are entering a new era. And I just embrace that we get away from silicon chips and monitors and keyboards and mices and actually start being able to use our creativity as a human, our senses, our fingers, everything to actually work in the world in a better way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I had it. I could convinced Dr. Carl Metsner. He is a physicist in quantum physicist, and he had a talk a few weeks ago. And he's quite upset because these the theories doesn't match up. So he is leaving this world of classical string theory and so on and so forth to search for other explanations about the whole thing. Feynman said that who proclaims to have understood quantum physics hasn't understood it.
No, this is not.
Yeah. So the double slit experiment. So consciousness creates reality. This is so mind-bending. This is the fundamental of it all. This is our world is built on this fundamental rule. Consciousness creates reality, and energy equals matter. So those two things together.
Massive bits of information that I mean, and now in time, in the river of time, the past exists and the future exists, but the present doesn't exist. I think that's just wonderful. I mean, I think that we are equally in the past and in the future, and every possibility of our future is possible. I mean, we need to embrace all this. It's great. I mean, people. Well, you're so lucky to be alive right now. We are going through this immense change. I think disclosure will happen not by us, but by them. I think, as people said, I think they will peep out behind the curtain and go, "Hey, everybody, we've always been here. It's time to meet."
Yes. And now we're talking serious. But in fact, I think it leads not to technology and development in this sense. I think that the real task for humankind is the spiritual development. We have to evolve there, and we have to think in a different way about this. Because when we have this oneness of consciousness, right? When this theory principle, when we take this for real, only to play around with it, we are all one. We are only like vectors, avatars of this oneness of consciousness, right?
Right. And we have to embrace that very much.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you very much. My viewers will very much enjoy this conversation. And I know that in your near future, you're very much alongside Jony Ive and Sam Altman coming out with projects of your own that I can't wait to hear about. But Peter, when do you think that we can talk about that?
Later this year.
Later this year.
We are now. No, I'm creative. I have creative Tourette, right? I'm overwhelmed by ideas, but we will see. We are now in serious talks, and these developments we can talk off record here a bit about it, but this is too hot for in both senses.
No, I completely understand that. We live in an interesting time. So links in the description to Studio Langer and very much Peter's work, which you should check out. Peter has done amazing stuff and is doing amazing stuff that embraces everything that we've talked about today. And it's such an honor to talk to you, Peter. So thank you very much.
Yeah, maybe I can say 2 words about it. So I will show you what we are having in mind with this UFO Expo, and everybody who wants to talk with me can really directly talk to me. Via email whatsoever. It's peterlanger.tv, or we can post it, connect to me, and we will drag things further, right? The future is there to embrace it.
I would like to get personally involved, and certainly I think we're in a time in 2025 where big things are going to change. I think the world needs to know that we're not alone. Humanity needs to know that, and I think things are going to become a lot clearer. So excellent.
Simon, it was a great talk. It's really fun. And let's do this when things are developing a bit further, right?
Sure, that would be absolutely fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Peter. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Ciao, bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching this. I really think it's important that computer technology embraces us as humans, as creators, embraces our use of our hands, our eyes, our senses. I want to live in that world. Jony, Ive, build us a product that embraces my fingers. I'm fed up with the QWERTY keyboard. I can't wait. Hopefully, the truth is out there.